You're meeting people who are wearing the first pair of shoe. You're meeting people who are being taught how to use a bathroom. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so that was very shocking to me. You know, like it was very shocking. And I tell this to people, and I say, and sometimes people don't even believe, because I think I was very naive.
It was an interesting conversation that we were having prior to the show beginning, you know, because now there's the definition of what is childhood poverty.
Mm-hmm.
And that one varies. Because, you know, some people not having a car, for them probably was poverty, you know, I'm not having a bike. But for me, you know, I think I'm with Omosh, you know, vitu kama my birthdays, it's things you'd hear.
Okay.
Like,
or a loose invitation.
Loose.
But even that one, even to be agreed to go for, was hard, because that means
you have to be invited.
Yeah, but and you see, invitations are reciprocated. So if you can't reciprocate, who's inviting you?
Now there's a time to look at Nakaumo, then they decided to move us to Westlands.
Moved on up.
Ongem.
Even before Ongem, there's a place called Westlands Court.
Oh,
gated.
All right.
Okay. So natoka umo,
watoto wa getikali.
Unaingia huku. Sasa you're like, what?
Different life, eh?
Different life. Levels, bro, levels.
Hata accent imechange.
Gathe, sijui cricket. Check, metoka kucheki bano, brikisho, mnacheki chaba, you know, cops and robbers, nini chaba. Huku unaingia cricket. Mnacheza sijui kick the can.
Mshacheza
shake. Huko.
Rounders. No.
Rounders is kwa zamta, I think.
Rounders, I think everybody plays.
Alikuwa anacheza ngama cricket, bro.
Oh.
Unasikia?
With the wickets.
With any where, and because it was organized, neighborhood, watu mnakuja mnacheza. Organized. Where? And then I think things just became a little bit too thick tukarudi umo. But I was also going to Westlands Primary. So anyway, but from Westlands Primary, I think they decided hizi jangili hizi zinawapeleka boarding.
Nyere.
Embu. And that's when you start so you know you're hit unachapwa na butwa, because you start seeing different things.
Yes.
You start saying, okay, you know, from one morning unakuda Elliot, si mkate ni Elliot's mami.
Yes.
Maybe kasos ganje hapo kachai.
Yeah.
Next day, uji. Lunch, githeri with weavers. Supper, githeri with weavers.
That's protein.
Bro, that was standard. Fridays, ugali, cabbage, and meat.
And one like 2 ninis of meat, and then
you have to be there.
Like a floater, yeah.
You have to be there.
Because if you're serving you are the one who has to play.
Ukihata,
yes.
Shida. We used to have visiting once a term. Mind you, I'm 12.
Midterm, right?
Yeah, once a term, midterm. I'm 12. My bro is 11. But boarding started from standard 5.
Yeah.
Right? Visiting day is when you'd see now differences.
Okay. Yes. Zile lunch boxes, zile machapos.
And you know, you can eat whatever you can eat. You can only remain with whatever you're gonna eat for supper.
Yeah.
Okay. So there's no extras za kuweka kwa ile kale ka sanduku.
Gotire. If you can't finish, inarudi nyumbani. That is where now.
So who inspected to make sure that you had a
in body schools, in body schools, Primo, they used to be.
They used to have surprise inspections.
The reason why I'm asking, because I went to boarding, but the boarding where I went, even that car being visited, so no one was visiting. But my bro went to your school.
Changes.
Yes. So me, I would go there, you know, this Famo days, I don't know what, nini. Lakini kulikuwa na mchezo wa kuchenga.
Yeah.
Where I used to be used as the basically they would be the decoy for everybody else. Na mimi ndio nilikuwa nabeba chakula nipeleke kwa dom, alafu naweka kwa nini kwa coffin. Wananipa kifungo. I knew how to get to the house, where it was, nini, which cubicle and all that. Nafungua coffin naweka. So there was nobody keeping track of me. That's why I asked that question.
But you see, that is high school. Me, I'm talking about primary school.
Understood. Understood.
Primary is very different. So what would happen is, visiting day, you can tell the guys who are going to be visited and who are not.
Yeah.
Because there was also that sort of classism. Because now nimetoka Umo, nimetoka Nairobi. There was a guy who was from Coast. I'll never forget him. He was called King Musangali.
Yeah.
right? But who am I talking? But he also there was also his family, part of his family also lived in Embu. But anyway, visiting days when you can see hapa kimeumana. So sometimes, my mom did a very good job of, it's always good to share. So sometimes I'd call a guy, like I know somebody's not going to be visiting. I'm like, hey, boss, kuna chakula?
Come, we sit down.
Come, we sit down and eat.
Yeah. Because he might not even be visited because his chaps don't even have money to come
and
there.
by the way, if you're not visited, there's Githeri waiting for you.
DH.
Yeah.
And you can
and
smell...
hapa
What?
watu sasa umeletewa kukupono, chapo, masausage, madavi, the budha, siove,
Mavriti, makeki.
I would be the guy waiting for you kule in the
so you start so from that lens at 12 you start seeing that things are different.
Yes.
Not everyone. You're complaining about are they bringing you here because ndio usikule breakfast, usikule mkate, usikule Elliot sausage, usikule hizo, lakini hapa kuna watu even for them being in boarding,
that's the only meal.
That's a meal ticket.
That's a meal ticket.
Wow. Okay, Baldhead hapa anasema school gear was a good metric for us, like neat new school uniform sets, new books, covers, and of course butter shoes. Nyinyi ni wadosi if this was you. So it's interesting to see, like what people define
that was made. Yeah, that was because Brazil saa zingine you're coming in with yani zile shati iko na sharp.
Yeah.
But you can
sharp inaweza hata kukata.
Kabisa, but you can see some people yani unaona hii imechapwa kiraka kiasi.
Even the sweater, standard ya sweater unacheki even nasema ai.
Yeah. So for me my experience was slightly different. And I'll be very honest. I know sometimes huku majuu, there are sometimes people who like to exaggerate, like poverty that they experience, and I don't understand, and these are some people that I know, that I grew up with, and I sometimes don't understand. To me, my first, my first view of poverty at a very close proximity was, of course, I'm not even gonna say family. I'm gonna say when I went to high school, when I went to Changes, is when for the first time I started realizing that okay, things are actually different, because you're meeting people who are wearing the first pair of shoe. You're meeting people who are being taught how to use a bathroom. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So that was very shocking to me. It was very shocking, and I tell this to people, and I say, and sometimes people don't even believe, because I think I was very naive, because even for me, even when I went to high school, is when for the first time, and this maybe may not have anything to do with poverty, but to me it was my first time seeing people who are my age speaking, like English and Swa with a different accent. I used to associate that accent with grown people, people of a certain age, because I'd never, you've gone to school in Nairobi, watu age yako, you're not, hujai kutana na mtu, mtoi age yako, anaongea na accent ya Kikuyu. ama na accent ya Kimasai.
Okay.
Yeah, because you've mostly interacted. So to me, I mean, to me it was very shocking, and I have to say, for me personally, I cannot say I mean, I do not come from a rich background, but at the same time, I cannot sit here and say, like I came from a poor background.
True.
Yeah, I can't say siwezi anza kusema nimetoka mbali.
You didn't kosa a meal? Did you ever kosa a meal?
No, never ever.
To me, I think that's a gauge, but what do I know?
Yeah. So I never had that experience.
But you see, kosaing a meal for some, kosaing 1 meal a day, it is muhadhara. There's some people who even kosaing 2 or
yes, there's some people who are going a whole day without a meal.
It's levels.
Yeah, and me actually, my first experience with ile suffering, ile akusota, was here in the United States, in this very United States. This was my first experience of where, I have only $20 in my bank account.
And you don't see another $20 coming from anywhere.
Yeah, sijalipa rent, sijalipa bill, sijalipa. To me, that my first experience was here in the US, and that's the reason why, I would really love to hear other people talk about this. Now, as far as my family is concerned, even going back generations, we were not wealthy, but we were also not poor people.